Welcome back to the Divine Creatrix Circle. I just lost the chat. Here we go. While you join, you can take time to come back here in this moment. I got my cacao, I got my Palo Santo, and we're gonna do this little ritual as usual together. And I'm excited about today. I always say this every week, but it's true. It is the perfect moment, the perfect portal to realign, come back into center, come back in truth, just right before we start the week or as we are starting the week, so we get to align with our highest good. As you join in, you can close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths by your nose and exhale by your mouth. Hi for the people joining. Drop in the comments where you're from, where you're joining from. And if you're excited for the best analogy, the best example that will literally change your manifestation game, once you hear this, be ready for magic because it will never be as easy to manifest what you want. So as we join, take a deep breath in and exhale by your mouth. So today I wanted to share with you the vision, the perception I have about manifestation, and truly what literally shifted my manifestation game when I started treating manifestation this way. Instead of getting lost in the how-tos, manifestation methods that exist out there, because there's a lot of information, and you might be feeling this, like you want to manifest your dream life, but you don't know where to start, you don't know what to do, what is the right process and the right actions to take to actually manifest the things you want. And if you're part of my community for a while now, if you've been in this journey with me for a while now, you know that I don't treat manifestation superficially. I don't treat manifestation as something to do. Manifestation for me is life, is the process of life. And so manifestation for me is deep, spiritual, and meaningful. It's not a quick fix. It's not something that I use as a magic pill to fix my reality or to fix any problem that I might have in my life, but more as a journey to become my best self, as a journey of unfolding, of divine unfolding that is already here and already happening, whether we are conscious of it or not. I've said this many times. Whether you are conscious or consciously manifesting at will with deliberate action, or whether you're just living your life from an unconscious state and going with what is, whatever you're choosing to do, manifestation is always happening, because life is always happening, and manifestation as we know it is just the reflection of life. Because this reality that we're experiencing, this body that we're living in, all of it is ruled by the cosmic laws of the universe. And so everything is a divine orchestration of unfoldings that are happening all the time. And so, as much as we have power over our reality, we actually have no power as well. The perfect paradox. We have all the power we need to change our reality, but we also have no power and no control over our reality, simply because life is life, and life is cyclical and not linear, and most of us have been conditioned to believe that life is linear and that we have to push and that we have to go. But this is because we have learned to connect and have a stronger relationship with our ego than our soul. And if you've been following me on any other social media, on my TikTok and other platforms, because I repost that content, I have a series that I call One Thing Your Ego Doesn't Want to Hear and But Your Soul Already Knows. And I like doing those things because it truly help us see when and how we're acting out of ego and when we're in alignment with our soul. And this is also the Divine Creatrix Circle is also a place where we get to realign and acknowledge our powers as divine creators, as divine creatrixes. And so, yeah, we must acknowledge that manifestation is sacred because life is sacred. Life is a journey and not an unfolding of things we are doing or things we have to hustle for. So, what truly changed my perspective on manifestation is, if I can say it in one phrase, is getting excited for the future instead of trying to fight my present reality. Getting excited for the unfolding of meeting my next best self instead of hating on my present self or trying to escape who I am in this moment. And in my opinion, a lot of what we know about manifestation in the mainstream media, in social media, often triggers them desperation, the pressure of escaping this moment. And a lot of the information out there also unconsciously pushes the narrative that we have to get out of our bodies, that we have to ascend, that we have to go somewhere else in order to be the version that we want to be, our most highest selves. And we heard that a lot, like we have to move in the 5D, we have to go from the third dimension to the 5th dimension, and all of those story lines or narratives that pushes the idea that in order to be the best version of ourselves, we have to leave our bodies and we have to leave this present moment because it's found somewhere else. And in my opinion, that can not be more wrong. That could not be more wrong. I've said it many, many times. Your future is created right now in this present moment. And this present moment is a portal for what is to come. And so if you move your attention away from this moment, away from yourself, and always trying to seek the information, the solutions outside by finding desperately the magic pill, then you're really losing the momentum to create what you actually want. And you're actually moving away from yourself. And so you're losing your attraction center. You're moving your point of attraction away from yourself. And so it's losing its attraction powers. Because let's be real, can I be honest with you in this life right here, right now? We have to stop BSing ourselves that something is going to be better in the future. We have to stop that right now. We have to acknowledge that this moment right here is everything that we need. And it has everything that we need to quantum leap our reality to create whatever the heck we want. It's not somewhere else. It's right here, right now. And it's not outside of yourself. Everything is already within you. And the analogy I'm going to share with you today is going to help you really amplify that foundation and that truth so that you remember that you are the portal. You are the bridge. You are the bridge to everything that you desire. And if you don't acknowledge that, then you're not taking responsibility for what you can create because you're too busy running away, running around, trying to find a solution somewhere else. And it's not. It's not. And so the analogy I want to share with you is that everything that you are receiving as a desire, everything that you're feeling called towards to, let's say you're imagining that you want that amount of money or that you feel the call to experience an adventure in that place. You see a relationship that is loving and that they seem to have a lot of attraction, intimacy, and you desire that for yourself. All of those things that we acknowledge and that we feel pulled towards are never a coincidence. Are never a coincidence. And for me, most of my life, I knew deep in my heart that there was so much more to life than what I was actually experiencing in my current reality. I didn't have the greatest childhood. I was not in the greatest financial situation, my family or even myself growing up and getting a job and everything. I was never in the best conditions, but I knew there was more and I knew I was meant for more. And I know you are feeling that too, because if you're right here and if you're devoting yourself to grow, to become the best version of yourself, is because you know that deep within you, there's a voice, there's a feeling, there's a sense that you are being called for more. And no matter how much time it takes, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many times or how many years or how many months, how many weeks you've been in this current reality or experiencing the same kind of situations, you know there's something more. And that is not a coincidence. We are quick to judge and we are quick to criticize and we're quick to assume that that is not possible. Our first reaction to those desires when we imagine having a lot of abundance, more love, more joy, more freedom, when we imagine those scenarios of having and being everything that we want, there's a part of us that repulses that automatically. That is like, yeah, no, that's too much. No, that's difficult. I don't know. That seems too far. Oh, this person has it, but I can't because this and this and this and this. Because I am like this and this person is like that, so that is not possible. That is the narrative that we push automatically. But even when we are telling that narrative, we're still feeling that sense of like, oh my God, that would be so nice. Oh my God, I want this. Oh my God, I want this. That feeling in your heart that you're yearning for, and that you know, even though it's behind all of the stories, you know that it's meant for you, because you can feel that excitement, you can feel that aliveness, you can feel that activation from just thinking about the possibility of that happening for you. And so today I want to invite you to maybe look at this from a different perspective, from a different point of view. And when I actually realized that and had the experience, visceral experience of this, my life completely changed. So I realized this in many ways during my process and my spiritual growth and my personal development journey. But it really clicked for me not too long ago when I decided to look in my camera roll to create a reel and go back in 2020 and look at old videos of myself. And I knew that I had filmed myself in 2020 while I was having a breakdown or experiencing a lot of overwhelm. And I remembered that in that moment, while I was feeling so lost, completely powerless by my situation after getting out of a toxic relationship and dealing with the consequences of financial abuse and having to deal with the the train and the weight of those consequences, and feeling like I had no power. Like I didn't know how I would get out of that situation because I was feeling so lost. And I received some bad news that made me feel even more powerless. And I started crying and I started feeling like desperate, because I was like, how am I gonna turn this around? I really don't know. Like I'm completely lost. I'm so defeated right now. And while I was feeling all of that and crying, I heard a voice in my head that said, "Film this, because one day when you will be out of this, when you are going to have all the resources financially, emotionally, energetically, when you will be the version of you that you want to be, that you wish to be in this moment, you are going to look at this and remember that it was not luck, and that you actually created this for yourself." And so I decided to film myself and just have a talk with myself. One, it was documenting my journey, and two, not with the goal to ever posting it, but more to have a proof for myself that I actually could get out of that, and I would get out of that. And when I watched that video, which was 9 minutes of me coaching myself and having a pep talk with myself while I was going through all of those emotions, I started talking to myself right now. And at this moment, I didn't know how I would get here. But when I started saying, like, I know nobody's gonna ever look at this ever, but this is for you, for me, like in a month from, and in a year from now, and a few months from now, that is actually living her best life on the beach and having so many, having like the financial freedom that you're seeking, and maybe you're going to be celebrating this with your boyfriend. And I was talking to myself, to my future self. And when I heard that video, I knew I was talking to me in this moment. I was literally talking to me in this moment. And at that time, I had no idea that a year from then, a year after, not even 8 months from that moment, I would be living my best life in Tulum and spending the whole winter in Tulum on the beach, when at that moment that would have had been an impossible scenario for me. You would tell me then that 6 to 8 months from that moment, I would be living my best life in Tulum, something that I thought I had to be rich to do. I would not believe you. I would have not believed you. But when I listened to that video, I watched that video, I listened to myself, talking to myself. I remember that feeling and that voice of like, film this, you're gonna have that proof. You're gonna have the proof that you can create anything that you want, and this is the proof for you to remember that you already know. And what I'm saying with all of this is that feeling that I felt in that moment of desperation, or in that current reality that I was living in, I felt that calling from the future version of me, which is me now, telling myself that it was going to be possible. And I was showing myself the possibilities of me being on the beach. And I just imagined that in that moment, with no idea of what actually was about to happen. I was just like, it would be so nice to be on the beach and live my life on the beach, because it was something that I wanted to manifest for a long time, to actually live somewhere where the ocean would be close by. That is something that I always dreamed of. And I declared that as I was talking to my future self, with no idea of when it was going to happen. But as I was talking, I knew deep in my heart that it would happen, because I could see it in my mind. I could see that scenario. I could see that situation. I could see that movie of me having those things. And the analogy I want to give to you today, give to you today, is that all the things that you desire are literally just callings from a future version of yourself, showing you what is possible and what is to come for you. And that's why we say that what is meant for you is for you, and it will never miss you, is because you already chose what you wanted to experience in this lifetime. Maybe you don't remember, because we don't remember. As we incarnated in this body, we lose consciousness and came into a limited self perspective. And that's why I always talk about the limited self perspective, the ego, which is not a bad thing. It's just that it is the force through which we're navigating this lifetime, this reality. And it doesn't have the same abilities that our soul, that our higher self, that is already connected and in full consciousness of everything. The past, the future, other lifetimes. And when we start acknowledging that the things we desire, we're able to see them because they are for us, then we lose the desperation. We let go of the anxiety and the worry and all of the turmoil of emotions that makes us feel like it's so far away, or that it's impossible, and that it's literally something that we have to climb, and that it seems so hard and so complicated. And instead, we're like, wow, I know what the view looks up, looks there, up. I know what the view looks like. And so I don't need to worry. I know I'll get there. I can just enjoy the climb. I can just enjoy the hike. I can just enjoy looking at everything that is surrounding me because I know the path to take. I know that I'm going to get there. I know I'm getting there. And so as you realize that every moment you are being guided, not only by your own guides, the universe, but your future self, your higher self, then there's no need to worry. There's no need to desperately look for the quick fix solution that is going to change your life, because there is none. The more you're desperately looking for things, seeking things outside of you, the less you are listening and tuning in the answers that are already here. If you're not there, if your consciousness, your awareness is scattered everywhere, in your past, worrying, stressing about all the hurt that happened and all of those things, and worrying about the future and how you'll make it and all of that, then your attention is not in the capacity of receiving anything, because you're not there. You're just not there. Imagine you're having a conversation with someone in this moment, with a friend, with a family member, but you're watching a TV show at the same time with headphones, and you're trying to listen to that and listen to them. You're gonna receive some little words in between, but you will not be able to follow either the conversation and the show, depending on which you put more attention on. If you stop the show, then you can listen and hear everything that the other person is saying, because you're present. Your awareness is directed to them. And what we don't realize is that we often are not even present with ourselves. We're busy running around trying to figure out everything at once, without realizing that if we just stop and come back and just sit with ourselves, sit with our dreams, sit with our desires, sit with our callings, we will know what to do. And even if we don't know the whole journey, the whole path, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 step, even if we don't know the whole thing, we will know the step 0.5, the step 0.1, 0.5 and 1. And then when we are accomplished with step 1, then we will know 1.5, 1.8, and 2. That is our only job, to know what is the next step. We don't have to figure out the whole thing. That is the biggest illusion of all. But if you are present enough with yourself and with your desires, you will sense, hear, see everything that you need to receive right now in this moment, to acknowledge that you're already on the right path, because you received that calling. You received that calling. And if you received it, it's because it is for you. If it was impossible for you or not for you, then you would just not be aware of it. Then you would just not be aware of it. It's that simple. So, you know the quote from Disney, like, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. I don't know exactly the words. Don't quote me on the words, but you know what what quote I'm talking about. It cannot be more true than that. Because if we're able to see it internally, it's because we are tuned in to a source of energy that is talking to us. You cannot talk to your friend if your friend is not calling you on your phone directly, or vice versa. If you want to talk to your friend, I'm gonna say random names, Melissa, but then you call your friend Jen, you're not gonna talk to Marissa, you're gonna talk to Jen. And so we have to realize that source is always connected to us. We are always connected to source. Even if we're not aware of it, it's still happening. And so if we are informed of some things that are calling you, then it's because it is calling you too. It was not meant for someone else. If not, someone else would have received it. And when you realize that what you see, what you feel, what you sense, what you can imagine is literally just your future self being like, hey girl, this is what is going to happen, and it's so fun. And I can't wait for you to meet me and experience me and witness what is here, because it's bomb. But instead of being like, oh my god, that's so cool, I can't wait, we're like, oh my god, how? It's impossible. I don't know. I can't because of this, because of that. And then we freak out, and our higher self is like, wait, no, don't worry. It's all good. You already are getting here. Like, I know, I'm here. We got here. Stop freaking out. But we're just too busy freaking out that we don't actually acknowledge that there's no need to freak out. There's no need to freak out. And if for some reason we don't get there, it's because there's something better. It was not for us. It was not meant for us. So why would we want to be attached to something that is not for us? The only reason is because we fear what is possible. And so we prefer to continue holding onto what we already know, but we don't realize that we are holding to less than what we are actually receiving or will be receiving. So the analogy is that manifestation is not you trying to escape your present you, but more your future self reaching out to your present self to show you the way. You had to be everything that you are right now to get there. If I look back to my video, I'm like, oh my god, I needed to be exactly like that, in that desperation mode, to hear my future self being like, hey girl, we good, we freaking good, and because of you, I'm gonna be me. Meaning that because of her, I'm me right now. And if it wasn't for that version of me, I would not be here. Because I would not realize what I realized. I would not have experienced what I had experienced that led me to this moment. And it's exactly because of everything that happened at that moment in that current situation that unfolded everything that is right now. And the beautiful thing is that I'm excited to meet the next best version of me. I'm excited because as much as I look back and I feel like it was totally a stranger, I still know and feel in my heart the love and the connection that I have with all those past versions of me that we're not experiencing life to the fullest, that we're not experiencing their potential to the fullest, although it feels like 10 lifetimes ago. I know it was all possible because of them. And so I know that everything that I'm aware of and that I'm looking forward for in the future will be possible because of me in this moment. Because if I'm not here, then I cannot receive the callings. I cannot be aware of the callings. And so it's because of me in this moment that I'll get there. And that is what I want to share with you today, is that as much as your current reality feels icky, feel disturbing, feel painful, powerless, whatever you're feeling right now, or might be feeling tomorrow, whatever the feelings that are happening, as painful as it can be, if you remember this, that there's a future version of you calling you, and you just stop for a second to answer the call, then you will know that everything is good and there's no need to suffer. Yes, maybe it's painful, maybe it's not fun, maybe it's not pleasant, but it will get better. And because you're right here, right now, you will get exactly where you want to be. So, what is calling you right now? If you stop for a second, if you sit with yourself and just allow yourself to dream your dream, what would your future self tell you in this moment? What is that future self wanting to tell you? What do you need to hear from your future self? And you can do that by closing your eyes and just putting your hands on your heart, imagining, visualizing what it would be to feel free, to feel love, to feel abundance, whatever the scenario you want to expand on, amplify internally in your mind, and just connect with that situation for a bit. And then you can ask yourself, what do I need to hear from you in that reality? And you will know. You will know. That is what I wanted to share with you today, because I'm tired of seeing all the comments on my videos on how to. Every time I share something different. Yes, I've manifested many things in many different ways, but it always comes back to that. Knowing that it's gonna happen and just trusting that it's gonna happen and being present with myself so that I follow the intuitive nudges in the moments they come. And so, yes, there are many different processes that can help you, many different manifestation methods that can help you. But the truth is that no amount of things you do will solve your misalignment from yourself or the gap you're creating with your future self by trying to seek that information outside of you. If you listen, if you hear, and you are called to use a certain manifestation method, to use a certain ritual, then you know it's for you. But if you're just trying to grasp everything and trying everything to get there, then you're not listening. Then you're not feeling what is for you, and that's why it's not working. So drop in the comments below if that is going to change your manifestation game starting today. And if you're watching the replay, or if you try that, answering the call of your future self and listening, you can come back to this and drop them in the comments, maybe what you received, the guidance, the intuitive nudges, the insights, and share with me how it goes and what you manifest in a few weeks from now, in a few days from now, maybe. Who knows? Time is just an illusion, so it cannot happen like that if we open ourselves to stay in alignment. And something that I like to say is it doesn't take time, it takes alignment. Because as much as it can take time, months, years, the moment it arrives and the moment it manifests, it's because you are in perfect alignment in all conditions to have the capacity to hold that desire into form. And that is the perfect and the most supportive thought to realize, is that it will happen when it will happen, because it's going to be in the best scenario, in the best unfolding for you. I hope this helped you really rewire and reframe what manifestation is, and hopefully it opened your awareness in letting go of all that resistance, all of that doubt, all of that fear. Because I'm really curious to know how fast your manifestation game is going to shift when you start listening, when you start answering the call, and when you start seeing your manifestations as divine callings calling you instead of impossible climbs to do. This was needed and this feels good, and I can't wait to hear more of the magic that is going to unfold for you. And until then, we will see each other next Monday, 11 a.m. as usual. And I also wanted to share with you that I created a new channel on Telegram because I've been enjoying this so much, and many of you have told me that this is really great and that is helping them a lot. And as much as I like YouTube videos and this, it's fun to continue to create magic on a daily basis and keep that momentum going. So if you like those moments here, whether it's my YouTube videos or the lives I do every week, then you definitely want to come in the Telegram channel, because I'm going to drop the link in the chat right here, right now. Because on the Telegram channel, I'm sharing with you daily activations, daily transmissions, and also a behind the scene of the realizations, the lessons I'm integrating in my own life, in my personal life. So my intention with the Telegram group is truly to let go of the fast-paced energy of social media, always looking for more answers, and instead dropping in. And I love the fact that Telegram, you can just put your headphones, listen to an audio, don't have any external activity going on, and you can just listen to that and integrate that and see how that reflects in your reality and how it can help you in your own life. So if you're wanting to have a space where you can connect with other like-minded souls, we have the Facebook group for sure. But if you want like daily activations and daily advices, then join us on Telegram. The channel is it's called Divine Creatrix Activation, and it's truly to keep that activation going. Thank you again for reminding me to listen when I start freaking out. Right. I'm happy it was a reminder that you needed to hear today. If we create space, it's gonna come. It's gonna come. It's literally the law of the universe. It just is. It just is. Let me know also if you want me to go deeper, maybe in future lives or future videos, to talk about the other cosmic laws of the universe, because we know about the law of attraction for sure, but there's many others, and the law of attraction is possible because of the other laws, like the law of compensation, the law of polarity, the law of rhythm. There's so many laws. And so when we understand the whole thing, then it gets easier to apply the knowledge and the how to's of the law of attraction. But when we think that is the only thing, we forget about the whole picture. So let me know if you want to hear more about that, and I'll be able to share more about those laws. And yeah, happy to have you here. Thank you for joining today's live, and I can't wait to see you next week, and hopefully in the Telegram group, so that we get to connect every day together. Have a magical day. Bye.